3, 2, 1, action.
Patiently waiting on my dreams to come true.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Zero Gravity Design Studio. Thank you for joining me, and today we're going to be doing a film emulation on Lightroom. So it's pretty cool actually. We're going to be starting a new journey, a film emulation journey through this week and next week. This week we're going to be doing the photo version of it in Lightroom, and next week we're going to be doing DaVinci film emulation using some different techniques and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to show you two ways of how to do it. One way is using a color profile, and the other way is not using a color profile. Like, you can just do it anyway how you like, but color profile is also like not too hard actually. It's just LUTs basically, like video LUTs, but if you're like a beginner or something, you don't have to worry about that. But that is also going to be in that, and those LUTs, like those presets, are going to be available on my website. So if you want to support my work, support what I do, and help me get an FX30, then you can do it that way. So thank you very much. Now before we start, a couple of notes. First of all, I've learned everything I've learned from YouTube. Like, there's a lot of sources that you can learn from, a lot of videos. Just, watch everything, learn, like watch my video and learn from that, and just practice, practicing. Practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. And other than that, I would also say my biggest inspirations and my biggest resources were serr and vuhlandes, and these videos that those guys have put out. Those are really amazing videos. I've learned a lot from them, and you can also see like some stuff crosses over, but there's some stuff that I do completely differently than them. But it's also like everything's up to taste, it's a visual thing, so it's not going to be, oh, that's the best thing, or oh no, that doesn't look good. Like, it's going to be up to taste. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Oh, and really important too, like, this is not 100% recreation of Kodak Portra 400 or like a specific film stock. This is more in general like a recreation of film in like how I emulate film for my taste, for my eye. So like I said, take everything I say with a grain of salt, but without further ado, let's go. Hello people, from the iPad perspective. So without further ado, and without making it too long, because I did 2 recordings and they were both way too long per picture, so let's just go to it. So before I start doing the picture, normally I would usually correct the geometry, but in this picture we don't really need that. And optics enable lens correction is always good, but this picture I'm not going to do that, because if I do it, like if I correct it and if I go, like, you see the edges, the vignetting and the geometry, so I don't want to do that right now, just for example purposes. So it's going to go to my lights. So this is the biggest part. Like, I always start with the curve. I'm just going to go do an S curve, the classic S curve, you can do it like this. I do it like this, and it's gonna push my shadows. Like, you see what's happening here? It's just gonna push my shadows up a little bit. That is very important, because I'm getting a lot of texture down. I'm just gonna pull the highlights down there. It's gonna create a very cool roll off. Like, you see here what I'm getting. It was like this, and I think it's pretty cool. So and after that, we're just going to go to our highlights, and I mean, you can salvage a lot. Even with the ZV-E10, you can salvage a lot, and I do it in my work, try to salvage a lot of data, so we just go like this. But I kind of quite like the highlight, naturalistic highlight roll off, so I push the highlights up and the whites down actually. So shadows do, and a lot of people do shadows same way. I'm just going to put the shadows up here and blacks down. So this is kind of like manually adding contrast to your image, because you can always add contrast like this, but I like controlling how much I add to the highs and how much I add to the shadows. So I quite like using the normal sliders instead of the contrast slider, but I'm gonna go and put the contrast out a little bit, because I don't really enjoy a lot of contrast, and just gonna go make it tad bit lighter like that. Yeah, awesome. So this is where the magic happens. Color, I happen to like images that are shot quite warm, so I think I'm gonna go like, Yeah, 6850 is pretty cool, and I like a little green tint. So I think this is pretty cool right now. I'm gonna take the vibrance down a little bit. We don't need too vibrant colors, but saturation just a little bit up, so I'm giving myself a bit more room to work with in the color mix and color grading. And in the grading tab, I like going for the classic teal and orange look actually, but I don't do it like oversaturated, so it's gonna go to 190. That's my fave always, and like you can see what it does, but I'm just gonna go to like 6 is pretty cool. And same thing with the mids, I'm gonna go actually like 45. It's like kind of like an orange thing, maybe like warm it up like that. That's awesome. And highlights, the same thing, 45 to like 10, 5. Let's go with 5. It's pretty cool there. And actually gonna push the luminance up a little bit, so brightness up a little bit. So the big thing, let's go to color mix. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the reds. There's not a lot of reds here, but I like doing reds like this always. This is for me very the for my interpretation of film, you know. And oranges, let's go like hue -10, just a little bit. Saturation, don't touch that, but luminance can take it down. Like you can see a lot in here. Yellows, I'm not gonna touch the hue, but saturation maybe like -10 and maybe like +5 on the luminance. So green is very like prominent here, you can see. And I'm just gonna play with it a little bit. So I'm just gonna make it a deeper green. I like that. Saturation down and like luminance down too. So like make it like deeper, really. All right, so blue is a big thing in this one. So you see the blue here, like this is aqua, this is blue. So it's gonna do a lot to the blues now. It's gonna change the hue. Like you can see the difference there. I happen to quite like that, so it's gonna stay like that. Saturation maybe down just a little bit. I think that's pretty cool. And like luminous is gonna up that. It's gonna do the same thing with aqua, although aqua is not like really present here. It's gonna do the same thing because why not, you know. So I don't really touch the magenta and the purple, so I'm just gonna leave it like this for now, and just gonna go to my effects. So this is a trick that I've learned from Serr, from his film vision thing. Like I usually go texture a bit down and clarity just a bit up, and it gives like the like filmic blur and the clarity, kind of like that filmic thing, you know. That's what you're getting. Dehaze is basically a diffusion filter in front of your camera, and I quite like the haze. So like this is 0, this is like -15. This is what I really enjoy. Vignette or vignette is also a very filmic thing, like this here. What I do here is always like I can show you like this. I usually move the midpoint to like here, and roundness is I like that, and feather is always good, and vignette just a little bit, so you can see the difference there. So everyone's favorite thing, grain. So I happen to like grain finer than Brad Pitt. I'm just gonna wait. I happen to like grain finer than Brad Pitt. That's pretty cool joke, right? I really like that. That is why we're gonna go something like 35 on the grain, and as far as the size goes, just a little bit down, like 15 is pretty good on the size, I think. And roughness is around 35. I found the perfect spot for me, so this is pretty cool, you know. And like just with that, I mean, this was the whole image, and now you're getting this. So as you can see, like this is a huge improvement on the first image. Now we can go like, I mean, I really like the white aspect ratio, so this is like pretty cool, I think. But without waiting a lot, I'm just going to show you the second method too, with the same picture. Actually, I'm not going to change anything, and that's going to be with the color LUT that I'm going to do. Like this is going to be just a little bit different, so and just start with the LUT right here. So I was going to use 500T LUT, And as you can see, like, this is a bit too much right now, but like we're gonna do the same procedure again, so I might just speed this place up right now. Biggest difference is going to be right now in the color mix, because I'm not going to play with the blues, aquas a lot. So greens still just a little bit, maybe actually going to put it up just a little bit there, and you know, saturation down just a little bit and luminance down a little bit. So that's that. And yellow's not going to do anything to that. And oranges, we're going to play with the oranges just a little bit. Same thing here, and same thing with the reds, so like that and something like that, and like this is the same thing. I just changed the green values here and didn't touch aqua and blue because I quite like what it does to the blues. The LUT here, like you can see that's a huge difference there. And yeah. Okay, so with that being said, same things in here. dehaze 15 and vignetting still 5 and 100 and 100. And grain, we're just gonna go 35, 15 and 35. So as you can see, like this is where we started and this is where we end up. It is a big difference here, and like I can show you on the screen right now the left side and the right side or whatever, the one with the LUT, the color profile, and the one without the color profile. So there is a difference, yes, but it is like you can still achieve most of that look without needing the LUT. But with that being said, let's just go to our second image, which is this guy. So this is actually an image I've already edited, but let's just do it together. And this is also without any color profile, so let's just do it together. So we're gonna go through this like really like how I would do it if I was doing this image. And the first thing is geometry. Auto, it does do something directly. Optics, I'm gonna remove lens corrections, even if there was chromatic aberration, which I don't see here. Maybe like here a bit, but in that case I don't really use that because I happen to like that. Very important thing again, I like wider aspect ratios. You have probably quite gathered that from my videos, but I happen to really like that. It is very cinematic. After that, I would just go to the straight, like the same stuff, I would push these down, push these just a little bit up, and highlight roll off here, and like shadows just a little bit up here. And like the shadow is also pretty cool like here, so I would probably go something like that. Yeah, that's awesome. So let's go to my exposure down just a little bit. Contrast, I would actually go up in here in contrast, and highlights are the same. I'm going to show you with highlights. Look at this, like how much can you gain from that? That is really incredible. But we're still not going to do that. We're just going to go just a little bit up and something like this. You could really go down here with that, and like whites just a little bit up. But like I said, like I think for this story, the filmic story, I think this is like my right way to go. If you want to do it differently, just go ahead and do it. Don't let me hold you back or anything. But yeah, I happen to quite like that. So blacks, we're just gonna take them down. So I really like this, like the sun hitting the lighty. So I'm just gonna play into that and just gonna make it really warm. Like I really like that. It's very I also shot this like exact scene with the Cinestill 50D film stock, which I can just overlay right now, and it was also very like that, but it was just a bit too contrasty for me. But it's the power of like raw and digital and Lightroom. Like you can get really 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 close to real film. So yeah, just gonna leave tint like this, vibrance up 20 actually, and saturation down this time. although I can show you this, like it does make a difference if I put vibrance up or saturation up. And for this one, like saturation is just too much, and that's why I think vibrance would be the right one there. I'm actually gonna go take a little contrast out because it's just a little too much. I'll just go to my color grading right now. Same thing, like I don't know, maybe like something like 145 here with a little green, and mids maybe like 200 and 10, and highs I would still highlights go for the highlights I would still go like 45 with 5 is good, not too I know we don't really want too much warmth in our picture. I would actually go to blending like 52 and actually like balance to like 40, like you can see the difference there, but I would actually go a little bit more balanced towards the highlights. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's just go to our color mix. Okay, so this is where red and other colors also come into play. So you can see something like this, maybe like that red in there, a little bit of orange, different hues for orange, and like saturation and luminance down. And for the yellow, I would do the same thing, but luminance could stay there. Green, I would go like -15 and -20 maybe, and like 10, 15. Aquas and blues, like this is also always like, is it aqua or is it blue? I don't know. But yeah, whatever. So I would go 15, something like that maybe. And actually, you know what? Just leave it there, and then like saturation to like 20, and maybe like luminance up just a little bit. You see it here and here. Let's just go to our blues. Those are aquas, and now it's blue. Now it's blue. Saturation actually quite a bit down, maybe something like -15, and like hue, and saturation actually also like quite a bit down. And I would luminance. I'll put up the luminance. Like it is a huge difference. Like let me just go through the effects and then show you the before and after. But texture, clarity, same thing. Dehaze, still loving that. But I'm actually not going to use any vignetting here. It is already a really like dark image there, so I'm just not gonna contribute to that. But I can just show you how it would look. Like this would how it look. This would be the vignette look. Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's pretty cool. Let's keep it that way, and add some grain. I'm actually gonna go pretty high on grain right now. Like this is like without any grain. I'm gonna go pretty like 50 maybe. That's pretty cool. Size is gonna 15, but roughness also like 35. And I mean, this is the image, you know. Like this was like this, and it turned out to be like this. Like this is an incredible difference there. And we could go, if we wanted to change this up, I mean, we could really say this is it. Like this is a really filmic look, a look that I really enjoy. You can also find this picture on my Instagram too. That's why I posted it there, because I really do enjoy this look. Yeah, but we could even go further and say, okay, let's take like the highlights down a little bit, and you know, add whites a little bit, so you can get a bit more dynamic, a bit more, you know, information there in that area. It still looks pretty cool. I mean, this was a difference. You know what? I actually like this more. I mean, now that I do it, I actually like this more. This fits the story better. But yeah, I mean, it is a difference. It is a really big difference. Yeah, so let me just say goodbye to you with my talking head. So about right now. So this was the film emulation, the first part of the film emulation journey, everyone, in Lightroom. I'm sure there will be at some time a follow-up video to this with the stuff that I've learned at that point. But since film is really expensive and this is a really good way of emulating film, there you go. It's a pretty cool thing. If you don't want to, you know, practice with everything and create your own presets, you can also buy my own presets that I sell, like the stuff that I just showed you. or you can support me through my Patreon. Links are both in the description below, and you would be contributing to my dream of getting a Sony FX30. So thank you so much. Sorry for the shameless plug, but yeah, whatever. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day, night, or dinner, and I really do hope you learned something from this, and I'll see you in the next video. So until next time, bye.